For this project I'm going to be using some pine, a selection of oak and some black walnut. Now for the tabletop I'm going to be ripping these sections down to 15mm wide sections. I've already set the table saw up and I'm going to start sawing them down now. Now for the drawer I'm going to use these slats of pine. All I've done is I have taken off the inner edge where the varnish was and I'm going to bond them together like so, and that will create the side of the drawer. I'll worry about the rest of the varnish later because at the moment I'm just more worried about getting them bonded together. Now with that all glued together we can go ahead and plane it down nice and level to make the tabletop. Okay, so as you can see here I've marked up the finger joints for, this is going to be the back of the section that holds the drawer. I've marked up the finger joints and now I'm going to start cutting them out and then we're going to start assembling the drawer once all the pieces are cut out. So you just saw me cut up a plyboard board. Basically this is going to be like a extremely thick veneer if you like, because obviously you can see the thickness there. It's quite thin but not too thin. It's actually a veneer. It's you know, it's going to be glued to the plyboard panel like so, and that's going to give it its strength and rigidity, and that'll become the tabletop. And then I'm going to put a capping piece around, or trim rather, around the edge of the top, and that disguise any of the actual joins or the fact that it's got a bit of plyboard stuck to it. But that should make a nice little table. Okay, now that we've got the basic structure of the drawer made, we need to go ahead and mark out the legs, the position of the legs, where they're going to go. This is basically one that I've already marked up. As you can see, it's going to be a type of rabbet joint at an angle, so it's going to be basically going to be angled legs, and that's why I've cut it out here. It's going to go underneath the drawer unit and up slightly into the drawer unit. I'll show you here. So basically, get it right, it shall sit underneath there like so, like that. And obviously they'll crisscross each other and they'll be interlinked on the bottom as well. Okay, so I've done the other two legs, so now I've got to do the opposites. I've already cut the angle at the top here, so what I've done here is I've marked down 5 centimetres down, and I've used my already pre-prepared angle, which I've already set up to the correct angle, and I've scored my mark along there. What I'm also going to do now is just score it along on either side so I can have a line to work to, and then I'm going to make 2 or 3 cuts, like a series of cuts, and I'm also going to measure and mark across the front face here, and then I'm going to basically cut the rabbit out. Okay, so what I've done here is I've marked out the position of the legs where they're going to cross. Once again, I've set up my gauge and I've marked it out on the wood. I've also gone down the size, marked out the depth of what I need to cut down, which is 15mm, and then I'm going to do a series of cuts and then I'm going to chisel that out. Okay, so I'm going to start making the drawer sides, which means I need to cut the groove to fit the drawer bottom in, which is this piece of ply here. It's a 9mm thick piece of ply, so I'm going to be using this, I think it's about 10mm, 10-11mm straight cutting bit on my router table here. I'm just going to use this trend measuring device just to measure the height of the actual router bit so I can get it exactly 10mm. For the drawers, I'm not going to bother doing any fancy jointing work. All I'm going to do is put some glue and some tacks in there, or some brads. Okay, so what I've done here is I've put a stopper on the drill bit here, and I'm going to drill in through the face of the drawer into the drawer back, and I'm going to put dowel rods in to glue it on. The reason I want to do this is because I quite like the look of the dowels, and using pine ones, so pine with oak is going to look quite nice, like a little feature. Okay, so similar to what I did with the drawer front, I'm going to again put a stopper on a drill bit and drill into the side of the drawer unit here and put a hardwood dowel into it. Okay, so as you can see, we now have the tabletop on attached with hardwood dowels, and then obviously flush sawed and sanded off. The next step now is two more steps. Obviously the last one is finishing it off with a varnish or a stain or whatever. But before that I need to attach a handle or a knob to the drawer. I just happen to have this little brass, like a little rose knob hanging around. It's actually quite nice. I just found it somewhere. So I'm just going to put that on there, nice little rose. That should look quite ornate and sort of just bring a bit more sort of class to the sort of the character of it, because it is quite a nice little table. I think it is anyway. So that's going to go on there, and then we're going to finish it. Space it a bit. Might need to cut down the screw as well, so it might be a little bit too long for this piece of wood, which I'm guessing it probably is. Yeah, it is. So what we're going to have to do there is just trim a little bit of that off, just shorten it down. So probably just measure that up a little bit. Probably take about 6mm off that. So there you have it, a nice little side table to go next to your chair and make a beautiful little gift for someone. In this case it's my mum's Christmas present. She has seen it. I know it's actually gone Christmas Day now, but she has seen it, she loves it, and obviously I told her I had to finish it, which is a little bit annoying for me because I wanted it to be finished for Christmas Day. However, all I have to do now is apply the finish. In this case I'm going to be using a clear varnish, because I think it'd be perfect for this and bring all the grain in the oak and the black walnut out. And of course you can use whatever you like on yours, should you make something like this, or or even this particular one. It'd be brilliant if you have, post photos or whatever, or make comments. It'd be fantastic. I've also got other Christmas presents that I'm still actually making. Again, I know it's after Christmas, however, according to Christianity, it's actually still the 12 days in Christmas until the 5th of January or 6th of January, depending on what part of the Christianity faith you're into. So I have still got time, so I might still upload some videos yet. We've actually started some coasters. This is going to be the main section of the coaster, and it's going to have some mahogany strengthening pieces through it. So I've actually started that, so hopefully I'll be able to get that finished in the next day or two and get that uploaded, and maybe a couple of others. So hopefully that will all be done by the 5th of January. Like I say, 12 days of Christmas is still running, so it's still in effect. So thank you for watching, again, to all my subscribers, and I have a new one as well, so thank you, I can't remember what your name is, I'm really sorry, but thank you for my new subscriber, and please, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It's always nice to have more and more subscribers, and please make any comments, or feel free to comment on any of my projects, or ask me questions about anything that I have done in my videos, or it's always nice to learn new tips. So if you have any tips for me, I always take on board new tips of how to do things or make things more efficient. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.